came to win.
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O, I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, we head across the Atlantic to London. Standing by with the call and maybe a little jet-lagged, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway here in London. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
Here come the Bengals now to take over. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. That's out to Chubb, complete. Call it a gain of 3. And just like that, it's 3rd down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Eric Kendricks is another one of those bloodline guys in the NFL. His brother Michael also plies his trade as a linebacker. And Eric's trying to show him he's the best in the family.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's going to take off with it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, a short throw caught by Andrews. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. We're scoreless after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go. The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Aaron Donald's secret, if there is one, to his play, his ability to contort his body in such a way that you can't get a good, clean block on it. He slides through holes and slides past blockers and makes plays just as we saw there.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Now it's Mack, draw play. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Letting one fly deep. And that's caught inside the 35. 33 yards that time. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A run for Nick Chubb. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Street the team. Hey man, watch the boot.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. This is caught by Robinson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This one fielded at the 5. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. He completes this one to Mack.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Watson. And brought in by the tight end Cook. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And down he'll go at the 25. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half, and as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. Second down now.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
They run the draw play with Mack. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Watson. Open man is Michael Thomas. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go right back to Mack. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Watson on third down. They'll run the screen with Mack. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give him much better starting position. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Now it's Wilson. He finds Robinson. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They go with Chubb on second down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Now Chubb. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Wilson. This is caught by Williams. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So Deshaun Watson in the offense. Down by a field goal. Exactly 1 minute remaining. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5. Up to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. He'll look to throw. Incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw, and that will be incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now. but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So that one hurt. No timeouts left. Look at where the ball is on the field, Charles. I don't know if the fat lady's singing yet, but she's starting to hum a little bit, isn't she?
You think she's doing scales at this point? I don't think there's any doubt about it, but they had to go for it. In this situation, with their timeout situation as well, they had to take the chance, try and get it done. They didn't. Now they're powerless to stop them, essentially.
They need a big play somehow from their defense.
Blue 15. Nice 50,
nice 50. Check, 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 check.
The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.